Hello, hello. Okay, so let's have a minute until I check whether my voice is completely audible or not. Okay, so just a minute. Okay. So I think so my voice is completely audible. Okay, let's start. So hey guys and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be continuing our lecture where we left out yesterday. So we have completely created a very basic app. Let me just show you how it looks currently. We have worked mainly on our homepage as of now, right? So what we have to do, we have to complete our homepage fully so that we can continue with the remaining pages. So let's just wait until our application gets launched. So in this we have different headings, and quick links. Okay. And in this we have different containers as well. Okay, so let's check for the containers how exactly these containers looks. So sign up. Okay, so yeah, here you can see that our quick links is present right here, right? And now we have to make sure to add the remaining other documents and issue documents inside of it. Okay, so what I am gonna do, I'm gonna make sure that we have a container. Okay, so extracted container. So let's go little up here and right after this quick links that we have created here, we are going to call for our new container. Okay, so let's just create a new container here. Okay, so I'm gonna create a new container here, and the container name will be extracted container. Okay, so I'm gonna create an extracted container here. So inside the extracted container, we are going to ask for the text, then image, then docs, and then what is saved. Okay, so let's keep all these things inside of it. Okay, and after this what we are going to ask, we are going to that ask bool show doc equals to false. Okay, so the default value will be false here. Okay, now what we are going to return, we are going to return a container here, and this container will be having the first thing is the width. Okay, so width will be 320, and then we are going to add the height, so height will be about 400. Okay, and right after this height we are going to add child, and the child is going to store our column. Okay, so let's make sure that inside the column we have main axis alignment dot center. So center, and similarly cross axis alignment dot center. Okay, so cross axis alignment dot center. Okay, and right after this we are going to go for the children here, because obviously it's gonna ask for a lot of inputs. So let's continue with the children part on this. So I'll add the first thing is a size box. Okay. Now the size box is going to take the width. The width will be 280. Then you have height. Okay, so height will be about 170. And then we are going to give an elevated button here. So elevated button. Okay. A very basic button will give it here. Okay, so let's just call for an elevated button here. Just a basic button. So on press. Okay, so let's just keep empty values for on press. And right after this on press, we are going to add child. So child will be creating a column. So column here. Okay. And inside this column, we are going to call for children. And now this children is going to have a sized box. Okay, so let's call in for size box. and the height will be about 20 or something. Okay. So right after this sized box, we are going to call our row. So let me just call for the row, and the row will be having cross axis alignment dot center and the main axis alignment dot space evenly. Okay, that's it. And now let's just make sure that this part is currently inside our text. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure that this containers and everything are inside our text, so that we can call these out inside our issued documents. Okay, so let me reach a little down here. Yeah, and inside this issued documents, you can see that we have sized box, and inside this sized box, we had scroll view and other directions, right? So scroll view was scroll view dot horizontal, and after this, what we had to give them some, proper input. So I'm gonna add extracted container. So extracted container. Okay. Inside this extracted container, the first thing that we are going to give is text. So text will be Aadhaar card. Okay, so Aadhaar card like that. Then what you have image. So image I'll give assets dot Aadhaar dot png. Okay, so we have already added the image. Then doc will be our Aadhaar, and is saved will be one. Okay, so let's just add like this. Now what is the error? Okay, so yeah, it's giving this error for the constant. Okay. So this is our first image. Let me now just make sure that this data is present. Okay. So here you can see that we are getting some sort of input which you will be able to see right here. Okay. So we are getting some output. It's not proper, it's not present correctly, but yeah, we are getting some of the data here, right? So this is the Aadhaar. So maybe I have not added the proper spelling of Aadhaar here. Okay. Now let me just reload. Let me just give it a minute until it gets properly loaded, right? So yeah, in this we will be able to get Aadhaar as soon as we will restart our application, because when we import an image, what happens is in the memory the image does not get imported. So that's why we have to close our application, restart it, so that we can get this image. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, we have created an extracted container. So let's just quickly move up and use these containers over here. Okay. So that we will be able to see the containers, right? So now, okay, so currently we don't have the images because we haven't all these images here. Okay. So let's just go up and start working with the images. So yeah, after this heading containers, we have to go and work on extracted one. Yeah. So let's quickly start with the row. So inside our row, what we have children. Okay. So let's call for children here. Now children will be having a size box. So inside this size box, we are going to add the height. Height will be about 70. Then right after this height, we are going to go for width. So width will be also 70. And right after this width, we are going to add child. So inside the child, we are going to call for the image. So image dot asset, and inside that, I'm gonna call for the name, which will be our image one. Okay. So obviously, it's not constant. That's why it's giving us this error. Okay. So we have just removed those consts from there, and now this image looks perfect. So let me just give it a little refresh. Yeah. So you can see that you can get to see that Aadhaar over there, right? Now we have to add more things into it. So this part is done. Then after this, we are again going to add one more column. Okay. And inside this column, now what I'll do, I'll again go for main axis alignment. So inside this, we'll add main axis alignment dot center and the cross axis alignment dot start. Okay. And then we'll go for the children. And inside this children, now let's ask for the text. So obviously, we have already, used our text. So let's just do one thing. Let's just make sure that we are properly fetching out our texts from there. So color will be the classic one. Then you have what? You have letter spacing, right? So letter spacing will be 0.8, and then you have font family. So let's call for the font family. Inside this, I'm gonna call for Poppins. So Poppins, right? Okay, so inside Poppins, we have Poppins regular like this. So yeah, let's just refresh it. So yeah, now you can see that you are getting this proper Aadhaar card text plus image. Okay, so now let's just make sure to add more details into this. So right after this text, we are going to call for another text here. Okay, so text inside text here. I'm gonna call for XXXX. Okay, like this will be around 3, right? So let's just keep it that much for now. Dash dash dash. Okay, so let's just keep text like this. Then we have to give a very basic styling. So style, not style, styling. So STY. Inside the styling, I'm gonna give text styling. Now text styling will be also a little bit different. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give colors. So color will be colors dot black 45. Okay, so black 45. And after this, we are going to call for font family. Font font family will be Lato Reg. Okay, so that is Lato, then Reg. Okay, so we have already defined these inside our pubspec.yml. That's why we don't have to make sure to implement all these changes. Okay, and now let's just add cost everywhere. Okay, and right after this column, we will close this out. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give some sized box here. Okay, yeah, write this text. After this text, we have this column, and yeah, after this row, I'll add a sized box. Okay, that will be height, and height will be about 20. And after this height, I'm gonna add for our notifiers. Okay, so let me just return what future builder. Okay, so future builder here. Future builder will use our get doc info. Okay, so we have currently not called any get doc info method here. Okay, because currently we don't have any sort of backend attached inside our data. Okay, so what we can do, we can either use an empty one. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call for future here, and inside the future, I'm just gonna write get doc info. Okay, and inside this, I'm just gonna call for the basic doc. Okay, and for the builder part, we will ensure a random input. Okay, so inside the builder, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna write for context here. Let me just minimize the spacing so that we can work accordingly. Okay, so inside this, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna firstly call for context. Okay, and right after this context, we will call for image. Okay, manager. So image manager here. Okay, and right after this image manager, we are going for child. Okay, let me minimize this for now. Okay. Now, what we will do, we will make sure to return Actually, I have created an error here. This child should not reach here. We are going to supposed to add here snapshot. Okay, so snapshot. Okay. We are going to use snapshot here, and right after the snapshot, we are going to go here and if condition I'll add. So if snapshot dot connections equals to waiting, okay, then what I'm gonna do, we are going to return something like text save now or something like that. Let's just do one thing. If the snapshot connection is not working, we are going to return the text that is save now. Okay, so save now and some basic font styling or something like that. Colors dot white and yeah, that's it. Okay. Otherwise, what we are going to do, otherwise, if that's not the case, then we are going to return some other things here. So what we will return that if snapshot or data equals to empty. Okay, so not one. Let's just give it empty. We are going to return a container. Okay, and this container will be having what? Some basic data, 45 height with about somewhat 219 and decoration. Let's give it a very basic decoration. Okay, and then we are going to ask for child. So let's call in for child, and inside the child we will use center, and in the center gonna call for text here. So text. The text will be calling as save now. Okay, so like this. Okay, save now, and then you will call for some styling here and very basic styling. That so-called text style, which will call for color. So color will be our colors dot white. Then you have the font size. Okay, so that's it. Let me just format this now, and yeah. Where exactly we are facing this error now? Okay, so yeah, I think so. We are supposed to add one more conditions here. So else if and now we are supposed to add one more else condition here. So right after this container, we are going to add one more else here. So else, okay, so let's just start with one more container. So what we are going to do, we are just basically asking it that if we have successfully saved our data, then show it. So what we will do, we will click it as view now. Okay. And if we have not saved our data, or if we certainly does not have our data properly added into it, then we are going to return like this. Okay. That's it. So let's just add const everywhere. This is the else part where we are basically returning a container. Okay. And the container stores that same old decoration. Then border radius circular 50, then border, let's call a border basic border here. Okay. Then you have the text. So text styling will be having the color. Color will be color dot from ARGB. 55, 55, 14, and 201. Okay, that's it for this color, comma, for separation. And right after this comma, we will ensure that we have proper, elements present here. So let's just format to add one more. Not get this here, format, and after this, what we have to format once again. And now where we are facing this error. Okay, so get document info, we are facing error. Otherwise, this looks perfect for here. Right. Okay, so this part is done, and right after this, what we are going to do? We are going to close our column here. Okay. So let me just reach above here, and we are basically going to close our column. And inside this elevated button, we will add our styling. Okay, so styling. So let's add the styling part here. Okay, so inside that we will add for button style. Okay, so inside the button styling, we will add for shape. Yes, so shape. So inside the shape, we will give around border radius circle or something like that. Okay, and right after this, we have to call for foreground color. Okay, so the foreground color will be material state property dot resolve width. Okay, so inside the resolve width, you can add any states and anything like that. Okay, so in that case, also you have a lot of conditions and stuff. Okay, so what you can do that in this case, if you want to add, you can return it like this. Okay, so if stage is pressed, then you can give colors dot white, otherwise colors dot black. Okay, so that's it for it. And the same thing you're going to do for this is for this bracket, and this is for this bracket. Okay. So this part is done, and right after this color, we have to add the background color. Okay, so background color will also be added like this. So if you are going to press it, so it will be returning const colors dot white. So colors dot white. Okay, same goes here. So same goes colors dot white. Okay, that's it. This looks okay. Everything looks perfect. What happened now? Okay, so elevated button, every buttons and everything looks okay. Now what we have to make sure, we have to make sure that we add that, get doc info here. So what I'll do, I'll just reach right here, and here I'm gonna create a future. So get doc info will be an empty string. Okay. Now let me just refresh this application to ensure how exactly our data is going to look like. Okay, so just give it a second here, and yeah. Now you can see that this is how exactly it's looking. So you have Aadhaar card, and the same way you are going to create your PAN card and stuff. Okay. So now let me just quickly reach here where we have our Aadhaar card part. So I'm just gonna copy this element out, and we are going to just paste it multiple times. Okay. so that we can get that same exact look. Okay, so yeah, let's ensure this. So we'll just copy this out and paste. Then copy, paste, and refresh it. Yeah. Now you can see that Aadhaar card. After Aadhaar, you have PAN card. Okay, and we will ensure that all the documents have their own sort of name. Okay, so Aadhaar, PAN, and inside the PAN we have the PAN image. Then in saved will be two. Then you have similarly driving license here. Okay, so license, and inside this also you have others.png. So instead of Aadhaar, I'm gonna name driving license to driver. Okay, so driving. That's it. And this will be our third one. Okay. Let me just now refresh it once. So yeah, now you can see that this is Aadhaar, then you have the PAN, then you have the drivers, and after this you have the last one, that is COVID vaccination. Because yeah, after this COVID period, everyone asks for your vaccinations, right? So let's just add COVID vaccination here. And in this case, we will add for vaccine, and this will be our fourth element. Okay. So let's just ensure that it looks perfect here. So yeah, now you can see your COVID vaccination is there. Then you have PAN card, Aadhaar card, and everything properly present. Okay. So this is how it's gonna look like. Okay. So now our home page is almost about to take shape. Just other documents and little bit of polishing is needed here. So we will ensure that this polishing is done successfully. Okay. So I hope whatever we have learned so far is clear to each and every one of you guys. So this elements looks perfect here. Okay. Now I'll just make sure that each and every particular part of these is looking okay. Okay. Let's just format our code out and let's just make sure that it's totally organized. Okay. So yeah, wherever we need to replace sized box, we are going to replace a sized box. And yeah, why exactly we got this error? Place the return type with size box. Yeah, so it is with sized box, right? So let's just check. Okay, so no errors here. Let's try to move this argument at the end and still where we are facing errors. Let's just have a look. Here, what we did, we just replaced this one with sized box, right? And let's just reach above and just have a look where else we can do the same. Let's just replace this one as well and this one as well. Okay, so size box replaced successfully. And where else? Here also, let's just remove the unnecessary container. Code looks more clean now, right? And in this case, what happened? Yeah, the argument has been moved in the end of the statement. So all the other things are done, right? So our code even looks more polished and now looks perfect, right? So I hope whatever we have done in this particular lecture is completely clear to each and every one of you. If you have any sort of doubts and queries, comment down below. Let me know if you are liking this series and share it among your friends who wants to create these amazing applications using Flutter. Okay. So I guess this will be the complete part. Okay, I'm just making sure to organize the code so that it will be more, readable to each and everyone, and so that we can, continue easily from the next lecture. Okay. So what we'll do, I'll just comment this out. Day 5, homepage, documents. Okay. So I'll just comment this out and sync. And if you need the code, you can just get the code from my GitHub. Okay. It's available right here. Inside my GitHub, you will be able to see this pocket ID.jfg. In this, you can see that we are successfully able to fetch our data, see homepage documents, and from there you can get all the codes available. Okay. So this was pretty much it for this video. I hope you have understood each and everything. If you have any sort of doubts, comment down below. If you have any suggestions, just let me know. And I will see you in the next one. Till then, see you, have a great day, and bye bye.